When you step inside this building, it's definitely like going back in time. The Smith County Heritage Museum here in Carthage has been open for business for the last 11 years. How did the idea first come about of getting the Smith County Heritage Museum in play?
The Smith County Chamber of Commerce and the Historical Society and my husband and I, as private citizens, just decided it was a good idea. And we got together and we and brought some other people on board. We had altogether 12 board members from the local community, both north and south side of the river. It's important here. We worked on it for 3 years until we got a building donated to us by the city of Carthage. And then we moved in 2004. So we had a lot of good local support, particularly from the county. They were willing to give us a large donation, and several private citizens donated made a good donation.
Of course, everything that you see in this building is donated, every item, period.
We are surprised. We just took it week by week and collected one set of items one week and the next week something else. And people were very generous to donate, particularly the agriculture items. It's not such a big thing in the county anymore, so we have a large variety of plows and tobacco implements, which, as you know, is not such an important crop generally anymore.
The room that we're standing in, tell me a little bit about this room and maybe some of the more impressive displays.
Well, this was our first gallery, and we were helped in forming it by Middle Tennessee State University. They have a class on community history over there, taught by Dr. Brendan Martin, and he brought his students over here, and we had the history book. We have a wonderful history book that was written in the 1980s to go by Miss Sue Maggart Petty and Miss Nina Sutton. And so we had that to give them, and they had all the techniques to put it together, and we collected the artifacts. So it was a collaboration, and for which we won an award from the Tennessee Association of Museums for collaborating, for the college collaborating with the local community.
And some of the items that kind of strike your eye when you walk in this room.
We have one display about the Civil War. The Battery Hill, which is our local hill here, the hospital is now located on, was a Civil War site. The Union troops were quartered up there to be deployed to the various battles. So we have a good many of those artifacts, which are very impressive from the collections of Mayor David Bowman and John Wagner. We also have, Indian artifacts. Particularly from the Mississippian period. It was because we have the river, the Indians were located here, and so we have many people have good collections of Indian artifacts, and we have a sampling of that in the museum.
What about those lovely old dresses there behind you? How did that all come about?
Well, of course, some people just really keep these things in their family. And a lot of these came to us from Ms. Faith Young. One important display is our local banker's mother's wedding dress. And everyone knows this family and they are interested in that. It just sort of shows the progression of, like the 1800s to 1900s, the long dresses to the flapper type. So we're lucky in having such a variety.
What about the room next to this room? Tell me a little bit about that room and what's in there.
Our citizens participated very heavily in the wars, particularly the World Wars and the Civil War. But our artifacts, of course, come there from mainly from the two World Wars, particularly World War II. So we have uniforms, we have pictures, we have captured flags and helmets. From both wars. Mr. James Fletcher, before his death, he gave us artifacts from World War II that his father had collected.
And what about musical items?
We have a history of bluegrass music in this county. Cordell Kemp was a very well-known area player from over in Kempville, and we have pictures of him, and we have pictures of our local sort of still somewhat famous family, the Wilburns. They are from Smith County. And we have the suit and harmonica of D. Ford Bailey, who was the first black performer on the Grand Ole Opry.
Is it kind of hard to believe that you all have been open now for, I guess, around 11 years and it's still going strong?
Well, it's certainly, we're just happy that that's the case. Every year we ask for donations, and so far they've come in. So I guess that indicates a continued local support for this institution and the idea of having a museum to preserve the history of Smith County. I did want to mention the Century Farm exhibit. That was another way we involved the community, was to collect pictures and memorabilia from, we have over 60 Century Farms in this county, passed down to immediate members of the family, and over 30 of them brought in posters and items related to their farm.
When you come in this building 11 years after you've opened, I mean, what are your thoughts today? I mean, how proud are you that you guys were able to actually get this up and running, so to speak?
Well, very proud. Our most recent president was a young man who had a lot of energy and a lot of expertise in putting together exhibits, and he is in a large way responsible for the professional look of it. So we're very proud that all of these people have been involved over the years, from older to younger, and it's just a community accomplishment.
The museum also houses a performance hall that is rented to the public. If you would like to schedule a time or visit the museum, the address is 107 3rd Avenue East in Carthage. The phone number is 615-735-1104. Reporting in Carthage, Barry Hyatt, NCTV.